Hey there, YouTube. This is MrLuBuFu here with the first episode of Drafting³ with MrLuBuFu. I'd like to thank Jason MTG for coming up with the name. It's quite clever, and I approve of it. Anyway, here's my current cube, so just gonna go ahead and draft it. Now, I am just gonna do it with bots, just because that's what's available. But then I'm gonna also splice in, well, the actual deck building process. So here we've got a few cards. There's nothing like insane that I'd always want to first pick. Cards I consider is Ponder's just always powerful. Ankh of Mishra if you're going a very aggressive deck, though I hate this art. I don't know why they put this one online. Birthing Pod's fun to build around, but nothing really else stands out. I'm just going to take the Ponder here. I like drafting blue-based decks, and Ponder typically fits in quite well. Now this is an interesting pack where we have quite a few white cards between Thalia, Angel Jubilation, Spectral Procession, Burn Force Chandra would probably table. There's also Fauna Shaman and Chandra the Firebrand, which I have an ungodly love for Chandra the Firebrand. And it goes best in the blue-red deck. So I'm right now leaning towards Chandra or Fauna Shaman. They both do different sort of things. Shellduck Isle is also very good. I like Shellduck Isle a lot, especially in a blue-based control deck. But I think I'm just going to take the Chandra and see what sort of happens from here. Well, that's interesting. We got Force. We have Geist. Geist is just really good in just any blue-white mid-rangey deck. And I'm just going to take Geist. I just love drafting the Geist Saint Trap deck. Here, if I'm going, I want to try and go some sort of blue-white, maybe blue-white-red. So I could take Fathom Seer. I'm just going to take this Arid Mesa, though. Start prioritizing mana fixing. Here, we could take Azure Mage, Battle Grace Angel. Capsize is actually kind of what I'm leaning towards. It's that or Sacred Foundry. But I think I'm just going to take the Capsize. It's a lot better in a blue-white tempo-y deck. Here, nothing too impressive. I guess I could take a Cancel. I prefer that over Wayfaring Bauble or Cunning Spark Mage, just because I know I want to be blue. And this Prophetic Bolt is for some reason glitching out, so that's awesome. Bolt or Counterbalance or Chronicler, I'm just going to take the Bolt. Go American. And here we get a Celestial Colonnade. More mana fixing is actually a decent win condition. Don't want to play against the Ankh of Mishra decks, so I'm probably just going to hate that away since none of these other lands are actually going to do anything. Here, I guess I take a Burton Forge Tender just for the mono-red matchup. I don't plan on playing any of the other ones. Then Negate tables, I'm just going to take the Negate. There's the Fathom Seer. Memory Jar is really powerful. I'm not sure why I was going around that late. So here we have cards. There's a Lubu Master at Arms, which is not that good in cube, but I kind of always want to take it. It'll probably table. Skull Clamp, which we don't really have the creatures to back it up right now. We have a Geist, and that's basically it. Skull Clamp's probably the most powerful. I think I just take a Brainstorm, though. I actually want to take Skull Clamp on the off chance that we just get a whole bunch of little dudes. Here, you got cards. Thirst for Knowledge, I don't count Palincarn or Draining Well as cards. Precious Deed's a good card. Rafik is cute. We just lose to Tsunami, so if this tables, we'll probably hate it. But Jace is just a Planeswalker in cube. We just take it. So here, we could take a Reflecting Pool. I don't think this is an opposition deck. Blue Elemental Blast is fine. I think I'm just going to take... if we took the Power Artifact in Pack 1, we could have the Power Artifact Assault Monolith combo. But I didn't think we were going to get there, so I'm just going to take the Pool. And be content with it. Here... nothing really stands out. There's a Watery Grave, but we're not black. I think I just take the Cloud Goat Ranger. Offers dudes, works well with Skull Clamp. Yeah, I like that one. Here, we could take Map, so that's not the best. Combust is probably not the best either. Boris Reckoner might be our pick here. Depends how heavy on the red we're gonna go. I don't think we're that heavy. Like we have a Chandra and a Prophetic Bolt. But I think Reckoner has the best upside out of any of these cards. Like, we're not going to be able to play Etched Oracle. I'm just going to take that. Now here we actually have choices. We could take Twin in the hope to get either of the Exarchs. Or we could just take Turnburn, which is probably the more powerful card in our deck right now. Into the World is also quite playable. It's just whether you want to gamble on Splinter Twin when there's a Turnburn. I like Turnburn enough better than Splinter Twin. I'm just going to take it. Here we can take an Augur Bolus, a nice solid pickup. Boros Charm's not, I don't think this is the deck for Boros Charm. Here I guess I'll take an Echo Tracer, just because there's nothing else here that's worth picking up. And there's the Lubu, which I'm going to snap pick, even though the pick is probably Forbidden Orchard. I gotta take the Lubu. Hate draft the Tsunami, because otherwise we're in trouble. Here's a Blue Elemental Blast. None of these I really care about. I get to just take the mana fixing away from other people. So yeah. Oh well, this pick is actually incredibly easy by a lot. It's Sol Ring. Sol Ring officially put this deck over the top. GG. Yes, I do have Sol Ring in my cube. So here we could pick up a Daze, a Coalition Relic, or I think I'm just gonna take the Tundra. We can pick it up with the Arid Mesa. That we have, and it's just more mana fixing, just make our deck more consistent. I think I'm going to pick up the Tundra over the Coalition Relic. This is probably the second best pick. Here, this is a particularly sweet scenario that I think we get Trinket Mage, because Trinket Mage fetches either Skull Clamp or Sol Ring. So I think I'd take the Trinket Mage over Fact or Fiction. Fact or Fiction is very powerful, but Trinket Mage in our deck aligns very well. Here we can take a Dissipate or an Evacuation. Since we're kind of lacking in the Wrath department, I think I'm just going to take the Evacuation. Makes me feel better. The Pestermite would have actually been here. That's unfortunate. We could have had the combo and that would make our deck a lot better. So it's either between Sulphur Falls or Clifftop Retreat about which one we want. I think since looks like we're heavier on the blue, I'm going to take the Sulphur Falls. Here, it's either Repeal or Devastation Tide, one of the two. I think I like Repeal better. Yeah, it's a cute miracle, but I think I'm going to take the Repeal. I like Ancient Tomb more than most people, but here I think we're just going to take Helix. Another light removal spell. Day of Judgment, even though it's not showing up, I don't know why it's not. Wrath Effect. Magma Quake's also fine. It's no, it's not as good as the other one. I still need to pick up, but I think I'm going to just take Day of Judgment. And here we get a Searing Spear, I think, over anything else. And now it decides to die. Okay. Well then, even though it died, we're gonna stick with what we have. And I'll just make a deck with what's here then. Awesome. Why did it glitch out like this? Naturally, the first episode, it has to happen. Okay. Well, we'll cut to the next part and move on from there. Okay, so this stack of cards is basically what we drafted. But let's actually go through it and observe it a little bit more. Break down the whole thing. Preferably without knocking stuff over in the background. Okay, so we have a Clamp. I'm not sure how good it'll be in our deck. Sol Ring's actually just insane, so we're definitely going to keep that in. Memory Jar is a card that I'm considering just because of the power upside we can get from it. I'm not sure if it's worth it or not. Day of Judgment's definitely going in. Burton Forge Tender's probably in the sideboard. I've only brought in, like, relevant cards. I only pulled out the relevant cards. Cloud Ranger and Geist are both quite good. They're pair win conditions. I'm probably going to play this Lightning Helix as well. Same with the Prophetic Bolt. Same with Boros Reckoner and Turnburn. Chandra, as I said, fits best in the blue-red sort of deck. Just copying Prophetic Bolt or Turnburn or Lightning Helix is not bad. Just Lulu goes in. There's a certain reasoning behind it. I'm going to put Repeal in as well. There's the Trinket Mage. Brainstorm Ponder to help filter out our draws. Jace is a Planeswalker and Cube. Same with the Capsize. Echo Tracer is not a card I'm terribly impressed with, but it does fine. There's probably Blue Elemental Blast will be in the sideboard as well. And then we have some mana fixing here. So I kind of going to check to see, like, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's 21 cards right here. So I'd like to pick up a couple, or play a couple more. I think I'm going to play Clamp. Like, the interaction of Clamp with Cloud Goat Ranger is very, very good. And just sticking it onto like an Augur Bolt, just netting value from it. The upside's just there. And then I guess I'll also play Memory Jar. And then I'll leave these two for key moments in the sideboard. I think this is all the cards. The thing died, so I didn't get to see them all before I put them all down. Then we got, this is our basically the start of our mana base. The rest of it, I guess we've got base blue by a lot. So here's a little thing, how to make a mana base anytime you're doing stuff. At least this is a little trick I learned that's pretty useful, at least for when I'm trying to work with it. So it's Boros, blue, white, blue, red, is it? Okay. So what I like to do is I like to separate out by color all the cards, and then count up the number of mana symbols. So for example, this Repeal has 1 blue, so I'll count that as 1. Evacuation has 2 blue symbols, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus a 16th, 17th, 18th blue sources. So we've got 18 blue mana symbols that we're gonna want to cast. So that's gonna be by far in the majority. Since considering that white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this kind of counts as, I count each half symbol as about a half, oddly enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 plus 1.5 is 7.5. So we have a lot more blue than white, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. So we probably want just a base blue deck with some white. I actually would count Celestial Colonnade as actually a white card as well, just because we want to be able to activate it. Having a 4/4 flying vigilance win condition is kind of nice. Like that's the thing. Like, we're doing all this cool control-y stuff, right? But we have to win the game somehow, right? So we're gonna have answers. It's just a matter of finishing them, which is actually one of the reasons why I like playing Lubu. Just because it's, if they don't expect it, it's boom, random 4 damage. Which I mean, for 6 mana, it's not the best, but it's Lubu. You gotta play it. So that's basically the setup I'd go with. I'd probably mana base, since we have already 3 blue sources, one that's blue-white, one that's blue-red. Arid Mace is basically going to be fetching out this this Tundra, or you can fetch up a red source if we really need it, and this Reflecting Pool, if we play our mana base right, will be really, really nice. So probably I want to play like 17 lands. If I play 17 lands minus these 5, I'd probably want to play 9 islands, and then so 9 islands would put this at 14. No, I don't want to play 9 islands. I think it's probably 7 islands, 3 plains. No, I think I'm going to go actually 6, 3, 3. So 6 islands, 3 plains, 3 mountains, along with these. And that'll probably get there between Ponder and Brainstorm to give us some help. We'll probably be able to get there. I don't know, I think this is a fun deck. This is one of my favorite types of decks to draft. But every week I'm going to try and draft something different, just that way I don't force the same archetype always. So that's going to be it for the end of the first episode. If you guys have any comments, concerns, questions, compliments, complaints, please leave them in comments below. I want to make this a dynamic series to make it as much as I can improve it as possible. Thank you guys all for watching, and rate, comment, and subscribe.